What's going on, everyone? Let's see. Waiting. Oh, going live. So, welcome back to another episode of This Week Investing in Equity Crowdfunding. We have three topics I want to hit today. Another a solo episode, so I'll get right into it. But the three main topics we're going to start off with a major announcement. Then we're going to talk about the new deals that are on Wefunder, some exciting new deals, and then we're going to talk about PSYONIC's major win that happened a couple days ago. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in and watching. For those of you that don't know, this is This Week in Investing in Equity Crowdfunding, where I cover what's going on in the news in the equity crowdfunding community. For those of you who don't know what equity crowdfunding is, it is a place where an industry where you can invest in startups and you don't have to be an accredited investor. Anyone can invest in these startups. And these startups are raising capital on platforms like WeFunder, Start Engine, Republic, just to name the top three. And for me, I love this opportunity just because, I watch a lot of All In, This Week in Startup, Jason Calacanis, and I hear them talk about startups and talking about investing in startups. And I've always wanted to be able to invest in startups. But before, I never had the opportunity to because I didn't know anyone, didn't have any deal flow, wasn't an accredited investor, so I couldn't get into these private market deals. But with equity crowdfunding, you can be a non-accredited investor and invest in these startups. So it's pretty awesome. My podcast, what I do is I interview founders and showcase startups that are raising capital. So in the equity crowdfunding space, right? So yeah, it's awesome. I really like it. And yeah, so we're just gonna cover the news and basically give you a little insight what's going on, what's happening kind of this week. We'll start off with a quick announcement. And this announcement I'm super excited about. I'm teaming up with Republic, Yvonne and Woody at C Clear and Crowdfund Capital Advisors, and we are going to host the first in-person inaugural investment crowdfunding meetup at Republic's headquarters. So I'm super excited for that. Everyone, if you're interested in startups, if you're interested in investing in startups, highly recommend just coming through. It'll be a nice environment. We get to talk, kind of actually meet each other in person, which for me, I'm a big kind of, I like to meet people in person. That's one thing talking over the phone, over Zoom, but to actually meet someone in person, that's when you actually get real human connection, which I love. So super excited for that. And it's going to be a great, 2 hours to talk, and it'll be pretty casual. So you come in, you can leave when you want, but it's a good place to kind of network, get to know some more people in the industry. If you're a founder, you're thinking about raising capital, this is a great opportunity to at least learn equity crowdfunding and how that can really benefit you, how it can serve as also a go-to-market strategy and can turn consumers into investors, into advocates. And one of the quotes I often reference is Paul Graham's quote, where he says, "I would rather have 100 advocates than 100,000 consumers." And that's just because the power behind an advocate, a loyal customer who then becomes an advocate who won't stop talking about your brand, provides more value than any sort of marketing you can provide, right? They are constantly marketing your product because they love your product and they're that loyal to your product. That's kind of what equity crowdfunding does, right? When you have a really good product, really good team, people actually believe in the mission and the company. They then invest in you and they become advocates of who you are, of what you're building, and of the mission you're trying to accomplish. So it's going to be this Wednesday, February 28th. Anyone, even if you're just interested in the startup ecosystem, come through. I'm gonna put a link down below, the form to fill out. So fill out that form. Once you fill out the form, it's 100% free. Then you'll get the location, the invite, um, and then yeah, I'll see you there. So super excited for that. And now let's switch to what's going on in the WeFunder. So I'm gonna change my screen. We'll look at a couple startups raising. So there are, let's see how many. There are 10 new companies that recently launched on WeFunder, which is super exciting. So let me share my screen. Um, all right, can y'all see this? Yeah, yeah. So all right, so there are 10 new companies that recently launched on WeFunder. Just wanted to look at a few. So we got Lit Motors, we got Perret, Perret Medical, Canton, Pesco, Soil, Per Vista, AI powered farm harm detection, protect classrooms, Gunsman Moves, North Shore Adventure LLC, When I Was Human. Sucks. So let's look at Lit Motors. Lit Motors looks pretty cool. So it's a self-balancing two-wheeled electric car. Proof of demand. They have projected basically $32 million of revenue, and they have 1,000 pre-orders with the average deposit of 75 $750. So that is, I don't want to do public math. That's like 750,000, right? I think so. Maybe 7.5 million, somewhere around there. One or the other. I mean, I gotta double check my math. Hold on. Let me double check my math real fast. Going forward, we're gonna have a new rule called no public math on the podcast. But yeah, that is $750,000 that they've collected from the pre-orders. So yeah, it looks pretty nifty. I don't know if y'all can hear. Let me know if y'all can hear. 130 patents. Autonomous balance electric vehicle. Kind of looks like a bike, a car combined, like a motorcycle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not saying I would invest, but it's pretty cool. I would love to interview the founder, learn more about it. Wow, that's cool. Kind of looks like one of those Tron motorcycles. All right, so breakthrough. So it's an EV. EV seem like it's definitely heating up market. I've seen a lot of companies raising, a lot of EV companies raising lately. I know Joe Gebbia. He is he's a billionaire. He's co-founder of Airbnb. That's it. Yeah. So he's an investor. Kelly Slater, right? Um, 15 patents. And you look at the team. All right, 22 years at Audi. Uh, Volkswagen Group, 20 years. I just want to kind of understand, I guess maybe why would someone want this instead of a car? Maybe if it's easier, it's faster to drive, easier to park, sufficient, sustainable. 75% of the people drive alone. You know, that's pretty interesting. Clearly can drive really fast. Um, and I always know I live in New York City, and you always see the motorcycles bobbing and weaving in between the traffic. They can do that. So maybe that's one of the benefits. You have the lit motors, and you can do that. The advantage international first market head start. Uh, 1/8 parts count of your car. So I guess it's going to be significantly cheaper than a car. Or it should be if it costs less for production. And then from the investment side, margins look significantly higher, faster production. It's still going to be safe, right? So reduce motion sickness. That's pretty interesting. I always get motion sickness in cars, especially after long drives. It's not bad. I always feel really groggly. So that's interesting how it reduces motion sickness. Wow, those are all the parts. Oh, those are all the parts of a normal car, and these are all the parts of lit motors. Significantly less, right? To reduce major battery size. So I know a big problem activists have with Tesla is that the battery, the lithium ion battery that Tesla uses is so big, and the amount of I think cobalt that and lithium ion that they have to mine to make each battery is very bad for the environment. And that's one of the big reasons why a lot of activists have been really coming after Tesla. And if you look at Tesla's like ESG score, it is way lower than you would have imagined or that I would have imagined before I found out about this. And so this reduced battery size, it seems like a major advantage, but it also seems like it can target maybe more of the people that want to be environmentally friendly, but are also very concerned about the amount of damage these lithium ion mining, these lithium ions and cobalt really does to the environment and also to the humans. I don't know if you've seen the video, the humans that have to mine it. Yeah, it's not a good video. It's not pretty. Okay, well, that's a plus. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I always like seeing these innovations, right? They're pretty cool. It shows you where the future's gonna go, right? So that's always cool. Okay. Yeah, so this is Lit Motors. They're raising at a $81 million valuation. Looks like they've currently raised, so they have almost 900,000 reserved for a little under 40 investors. Um, what people say, go Danny. Right? Uh, kind of technology we need. Is very interested. Definitely, definitely. I will definitely buy one. I believe in interesting in investing in things I like. If someone has a good idea, the crowd should follow and make it happen. Motorcycle called Car Twist. Been watching since the first launch attempt. Hoping an additional attempt will be successful. Wow, since 2012. So they've been at this for a while. So a lot of people in the comments seem to like it. Maybe we can see some questions. What's your definition of range? Right. Realistic range is 160 to 180 miles per charge. Okay. Um, let's see. Do you have any plans to lower the price? Oh, 32,000. Seems a little steep for two wheels and no trunk. So it is going to be interesting to see the price point and to see how many people think the price point really fits in with how they value the product. So yeah, that's fascinating. That's one of the startups. We'll look at one more startup. Um, Rucking Socks, on-demand mover. If I were human, I don't know. What do y'all want to? We'll do Soul. Bring Korean alcohol mainstream. 66 investors. Got an $18 million valuation. Let's. I just want to see if they have any financials. Aha. You can look at this. This okay. Sales. So they had 86,000 in sales. Uh, percentage change. Okay, so it looks like this year 86,000, 80 almost, yeah, 86,000. Last year was 10,000, so they probably just started last year. So they're obviously growing. Um, let's see what the actual product is. All right, six fastest craft beer brand in New York, sold wow over 3.3 million since launch. 40% gross margins. Marketing is less than 10%. So marketing is less than 10%. That means a lot of people keep coming back. Maybe it's so good people spread it through word of mouth. Maybe they have a big social media presence, right? So it's easier for them to market, so they don't have to spend money running paid ads. projecting profitability next year. So they have 1,400 accounts for distribution across 23 states, which is always good. I don't know much about the alcohol industry, but I would assume one of the names of the game is to get as many accounts distribution wise as possible, because more it's I would assume it's much more of a distribution game than an actual product game, because I don't I think that I have that assumption just because it seems like it's a pretty competitive industry. So it's really hard to make your product number one, a consensus number one. So to really get value and to really build a successful brand, you just need really good distribution connections to help get into the stores you need to get into the stores you want to get into, and probably there's probably some flagship stores that really help swing. They just have a really good target audience. Really helps kind of swing a brand, grow it in popularity. Bringing mainstream 4 years, 3.3. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Um, so 4 years, they sold 3.3 cans, 3.3 million cans. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I like the logo design. Um, See, all natural, gluten free, 100% vegan. That's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't think about that, but there might be a movement of people making alcohol brands that are gluten free and vegan. I know there's been a recent wave of um, like if you look at, I think it's athletic or athlete. It's I think it's a New York beer where it's a non-alcohol beer. That's kind of a move. And that's gaining a lot of attraction, doing millions and millions of dollars a year in sales. But this is a differentiator, and it's pretty targeted to who they would want to advertise to and target, and I think that helps them for differentiation perspective. Social branding. I do like the marketing, the design, the overall look of the product. It looks clean. It looks, I don't know. It's a nice look. The Squid Games. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Soul. Yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Soul. I think so. Yeah. So yeah, it looks I really like the branding. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the branding of the can. The branding of the can's awesome. Uh yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll have to check it out if I can come across it in New York. Shake me. Yeah, looks good. So yeah, those are two startups that are currently raising on Wefunder. Just wanted to uh, check them out, show them, and then oh, a third topic: PSYONIC's major win. Past couple of days, they were on Shark Tank, and I don't know if you know Psionic. Psionic is doing the ability hand, which is hand for amputees. It's like the fastest on the market. It's also strong and durable, and you can control it from muscles, but you can also control it from an app. Oh, it's fascinating. We had Dr. Adil on the podcast, did an interview with him. He's awesome, super passionate about what he does, has a great mission, has a great story. Highly recommend checking out that podcast, giving it a listen to. But on Shark Tank, he ended up getting a deal with Damon, uh, Damon, Mr. Wonderful, and I think Lori. So it was 6% at 1 million, and I think he was raising. So he was raising at like a 50 million valuation. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually takes the deal, because I know a lot of times they agree on the deal during the Shark Tank episode, and then there's a couple weeks of like negotiating the actual contract and like the fine little details. So sometimes it can fall from there. Sometimes stuff happens, but I think that's awesome. And to get sharks behind a startup, behind a founder who currently raised capital via equity crowdfunding, it's always a good story. You know, it increases the likelihood of success, which also increases the likelihood that these investors are going to make a return, make a larger return, larger than expected. And so I'm super excited about that. And the fact that he was on Shark Tank was a great way to, I guess, uh, show the world that equity crowdfunding has some great startups raising capital in the industry. So, that being said, congratulations, Dr. Ideal. Uh, love to have you on again. You were great. Watch the episode. You were great, and yeah, and he asked some tough questions that came at him pretty hot, and he handled it well, and he got the deal done. So that's always awesome. And congratulations. Yeah, it's a big win for the industry. It's a big win for you, and you definitely deserve it. The mission that you're on is yeah, it's very inspiring. So with that being said, thank you everyone who's tuned in. I wanted to keep this episode pretty brief, but I just hit a couple of topics, cover the news a little bit, keep everyone in the loop. If this is you're get is this is how you're getting your equity crowdfunding news, I wanted to keep you up to date. And with that being said, we'll see y'all next time. I appreciate it. If you haven't checked the interview out, the recent interview with uh, Manghua, check it out. Artley Coffee. It's great. Really enjoy talking to him. If you're in New York, they have Artley Coffee in the Muji store in Hudson Yards. And if you're in Hudson Yards, or if you're in New York City, come Wednesday. Come to the first inaugural investment crowdfunding meeting at Republic's headquarters. Fill out the form, link below. I'm about to post a link down below and fill it out. Come say hi. Let's meet in person. And I'm super excited to see everyone. With that being said, so long, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.